Great story. I'm parked at the light on Florida Mango and Forest Hill Boulevard. Top is down. It's 9:45 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Blue
Sing it like
skies,
this.
right? And I'm listening to "Living La Vida Loca," right? It just came out.
Wow. Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't say it. I
I'm
saw it
telling-
coming. Don't say
know,
it.
I know. It's pretty funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of the Residential Remix Podcast. I'm Dennis Stryker.
I am Derek Infiesta.
And I know you're trying to figure out who the hell is this damn good-looking man in the black polo shirt. Introduce yourself.
His name's Javier Infiesta. Thank you.
He's
very
the
much.
older brother of Derek, of my family, Derek Infiesta.
Actually younger.
Older
younger.
brother. I want to put that out there because I'm so sick and tired of him saying,
Well, look at the beard. I mean, I
Bro.
can't fault anybody
okay,
for wondering.
so just, I don't color my beard. My beard is like this. He has a color pin in his drawer. I can.
Do
you really?
Grab,
No, I do that.
yes,
Of
it
course
is in his bag. I'm willing to bet $100 if I go through his bag, there's a color pin in there.
I'll give you $100 if you find a color.
I'm going to try and find the picture of when you got your beard done with R1 at Pacino's.
I have it. I
You have it?
I
We're
have
putting
it.
it
It's on
up.
my phone.
We're putting it up. Everybody has to see this
It's
picture.
the one time I did
That
the
was
Pacino's
amazing.
commercial. Yes, it was amazing. I want to do it again. And every time I say I'm going to do it again, my wife gets upset.
You looked a little weird. It was a little much.
He actually looked pretty good.
But it's because it takes like so many years off, I feel like. And I do look younger. But now that my hair is actually turning a little gray, I am not trying to do my hair, my beard. Like, it's just too much at this point. It gets intense.
Natural.
You wish you're natural.
Never.
When
touch my hair.
when Javier was in the hospital, when back in COVID, Javier was in the hospital with COVID for like 21 days, and it was insane. And I'm glad he made it out the other side, obviously. But now that he's made it out, we can kind of make fun of him a little bit because his beard was so white. You look like Santa Claus.
First of all, it was 10 days, not 21 days. And I was not. Listen, it's all natural up here. A little color.
He's got a great head of hair. Let's be honest. It's a great head of hair.
We're just being a hater, whatever.
For his age, and I'm not going to put a caveat on it.
Different mom, same dad. That's the issue here. So I got better genes. It is what it is.
Oh, here we go. The story. It's my mom's fault now. Here it comes. Here
is
it
what it
comes.
is.
Here it comes.
Well, this is being as though it's episode 5. We wanted to do a couple things that were just going to be an awesome celebration. Number one, we brought on Javier, and he is going to be our mortgage godfather. When we have questions, if there's something specific we want to talk about when it comes to mortgages, we're going to bring him on. Derek has been in the industry for such a long time, has seen all kinds of crazy situations and done all kinds of crazy things that he has the answers to just about everything. But when he doesn't, Javier is the one we call. So it makes sense to have him on at least maybe one every 5 episodes or so to get maybe some cool stories of shit that happened in the past. I mean, you've been doing this, and we did the math. You've been in this industry. I know you tried to fight me. He's like, tell him 20 years. I was like, but you just told me you got in it in 1999.
That's right.
You went through it during 9/11. And you want me to tell people 20 years. It's 25. He's like, no way, bro. He got out the calculator and was tapping it in. 25 years. You're old as shit, but you look great.
Thank you. Appreciate
But
it.
25 years in the industry, you've seen
Started when I was 19
everything.
years old. I was 19 years old.
I mean,
I was a young man.
And it was a completely different monster of an industry back then.
Yep.
So from what you've seen then to what you've seen now, just that experience alone is why we want you on here, every few episodes. I mean, we know how busy you are. So number one, the fact you let us use your office, we're extremely grateful for that. But also getting you on here to pick your brain and throw out as much information we can to the listeners and the viewers is going to be even more important than all of that.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
Today is October 2nd, and
My birthday's tomorrow.
by my calculations,
In the house.
let's give it up. That's right. Birthday boy in the house. Tomorrow is your
41.
41.
I don't care. I'll say it. 41. Javier's still older.
Oh.
By a couple years. But here's the funny part. The funny thing is that he's the only person I know, the only male I know that celebrates his birthday, not just the day of your
Hell
birthday,
no.
not just the week of your birthday, but the whole entire month he celebrates his birthday like if he was still 15 years old.
And also the 2 weeks leading up to the month of October. My birthday's next
It's like the
month.
promotion
My birthday's
for it.
coming up.
So for
Like a
it's
nightclub.
like a nightclub. It's like I promote the birthday all the way through. And we did a whole podcast on this.
Yep.
I promote it all the way through. Then the birthday hits, and then it's just celebration after celebration at different nightclubs. I think we're doing 2 venues. Clematis Social on the 11th. I think it's on my calendar.
This is news to
do,
me. Where was I didn't even get the call on this one.
I got it. They called me yesterday or the day before. They're like, "Can we do a party?" I'm like, "Sure." And I'm like, "It happens to be my birthday, so I think we should do maybe a birthday celebration." But it's on a Friday, which I typically only play Saturdays. So I'm at least downtown. So I was like, "Yeah, let's do something different."
Cool.
And then our Dare is we're doing Dare for Halloween again.
Another Friday night.
It's a Friday night. It's the 25th. I don't have my calendar, but it is a Friday night. Dare. We did it last year. It was so busy last year that we had to open the pool for overflow because they couldn't fit any more people.
I looked at the flyer. Is this one? Is it at the pool or are you going to be inside the club?
So that's the debate right now is we could fit more people in the pool.
Yeah.
So if we play in the pool, I can, just like when we did like Fisher and John Summit, everybody plays in the pool. It just has more tables. It has more bottle, it's more area, more space.
For sure.
Plus you can jump in the pool. I don't know how many people being costume are going to jump in the pool, but it's just a bigger space. So they either want to give us the pool to fit more people or maybe move inside. They also have their house DJs that night as well. That just played that just strictly tech. So either their tech, I think Tech Casa is called. So they're either going to do that inside or they're going to take that pool party vibe for house music and put it outside and put us inside. So either way, it's going to be a party. So we're excited about that. We're definitely excited about that. And Javier's all of a sudden he's a house head.
I love it.
Javier is a house head.
Always have been a house head, first of all, for the record, since 2008, 07.
And sometimes I want to say, yeah, but then I remember being on the boat, we're on fishing tournaments and I'm sitting there like, do. And he's like, the song doesn't even start. Yep. It's like 10 seconds in of just bass. God, these songs suck. And he would just change the song. And I'm like, let the damn thing play. And me and Razor would yell at him. And now you on the boat and all you hear is, do.
What was it? Can you, if you think back about it, do you know like what the first DJ or the first song you heard that was like, man, this is it?
I want to say in 07, 08 was my first Ultra. I was invited.
Okay.
And I was like, the hell's Ultra? So
that's the one I took you to.
No, it was actually the one.
I took you to the pool parties. I only took you to the pool parties.
Yeah. Anyways, I can't remember who took me, but the first one I went to, it was Axwell.
Really?
Yeah. So I saw Swedish House.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. That was had me hooked from there.
And compared to what you're listening to now, we were talking about it before Derek got here, and the Axwell sound versus what you were playing for me before we started, like that's like night and day genres. Yeah. So the transition, your music tastes, I would say they've completely changed.
Yeah, I think it's still a little bit of mix of everything. I remember house music has its different levels, right?
Yeah.
As I explained, you have your Spanish house, you have your Afro house,
yep.
Then you have the more technical, craziness that I'm not really into that much. But the more beats that I enjoy is kind of, I would say Afro, Spanish. It's more of my beat.
Healing house.
I enjoy
Healing
House.
House.
Healing House. What's the DJ that you love that does the Healing House thing?
Lincoln Jesser.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like
guys,
it.
But you just were talking about him saying how, he started with just, a couple thousand followers. Yeah, he is up in like the hundreds of thousands.
You know what it is? It's something that it's soothing. It's something in the background when you're working. Mm-hmm. That's why I enjoy it.
I'm a huge proponent of music on in the background when I'm working.
Absolutely.
If I'm not on the phone, I want to hear something just to break up the noise. It also helps me focus.
I did homework to music.
Yeah,
music, TV on, music playing, and our kids do now too.
If we go back to the old days of our office when we used to do Power Hour and we were cold calling, back in the old days in our old company, we used to have a actual in the middle of the office we had not a strobe light, but a police, light moving.
Okay.
That was the sign. Everybody get on the phone and start Power Hours. Let's start calling. And I'd walk around with a bat. Just walk around with a bat, make sure everybody's on the phone.
Jesus Christ.
That's the way it was. And what's funny is that we always played music, and it was always something that we played, and we played loud. It was Monday, if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Monday was always country music. Tuesday was house. Wednesday was hip hop. Thursday was, I want to say it was Spanish mix. And then Friday was reggae for the weekend. We do stuff like that all the time, and it was great.
Mixed bag. Definitely mixed bag.
Yeah.
I like that.
Power hours are, now that he said that, I remember the power hours. It was literally sheets of names, and or he started with a phone book, and that was
Yeah.
your like white pages, right?
Back in the day, it was
Damn.
literally white pages. My boss was my mentor, who was an amazing human being. Give her all the credit in the world. She would give us a book, and it's my first day of the job. Here's make 300 calls and find some business.
White
Your job
pages.
is to make sure you find somebody that needs money. We sell money. You sell money. So get on the phone, call as many people as you can to find someone that needs to buy money, and you sell money.
What would you do? Just kind of start at the letter A, and
Pretty much, yeah.
Monday was
Yeah.
A, Tuesday was B.
I literally would call 300-400 people a day.
That was back when people still had house phones. I think they were
That's
more
correct. That's
apt to
correct.
answer the phone.
Correct.
You didn't have caller ID. There weren't too many. If you left a voicemail, it was on this machine with the tiny cassette tape. So I have to
Showing our
assume.
age again.
I have to assume you had some success with that, right? I mean, people answered the phone.
The actual do not call list, I believe, came out that year that I started.
Ah.
So yeah, it just came out, right after that. But yeah, we would call, and literally it was, my pitch was pretty simple. Do you need money?
Is that what you would open
I
with?
mean, pretty much.
Because in our industry, cold calling is, and especially as a realtor, I mean, there are so many mentors and people that preach cold calling as the one way to get business in this industry. And that was your bread and butter when you started. Do you remember your opening line? How did you get people to stay on the phone and not hang up?
It's been so long, I can't tell you what my actual opening line was, but I would tell you it was pretty simple. My line was pretty simple, and it worked. I remember my first week on the job, I put in 10 deals.
Damn.
And within 60 days, I was number one in the company.
See, that's why you're the godfather of mortgages.
The Godfather. You being the Godfather, the old guy that's sitting here next to me.
I wasn't going to say old guy.
The
but
old guy.
just the experience.
The experience.
But I still look younger, but go ahead.
This is the excuse every time we go somewhere.
I
I
do look
hate this
younger.
guy. Every time we go out, he's like, "Who's older?" He'll go to some random person. We start
Of course,
talking to him at the bar. Who's older? Like that's like a thing. And he actually won a BMW. I remember that was a big highlight.
You were just
for
talking about
you.
that.
You won a BMW.
Yeah, that was back in, it was a contest they ran. I ran for a company called New Century Mortgage.
Okay.
New Century was probably one of the leaders of the subprime, non-QM space back in the old days. And we had a contest, and it was 1,500 loan officers across the U.S. from California to New York, all the way to Florida. We only had, I believe, 5 branches in Florida at the time. But we would do both back then. Back then, I was a wholesale representative,
Okay.
and I was a loan officer. I was both. So it was unique. So I was able to go and get business from other mortgage brokers, and also I was retail as well. So retail meaning that, I work with the public directly,
Right.
or I would get business from the wholesale. And we had a contest, and it was top loan officer, number one. First place was a BMW Z3 Roadster. Second place was a
It was
Saturn.
cool in those days.
Stunning.
Back
Yeah,
then,
I think it
right?
was
pretty
cool in those days.
It just came
Yes.
out that year. Second place was a Saturn. You remember that? They don't even have them anymore.
Saturn.
Saturn. It was a
God.
Saturn was second place. Third place was a Volkswagen Beetle. They
I would have
just come
taken
out
the
with Beetles,
Volkswagen, keep the BMW.
Yeah, right. So that was a contest, and fourth place was steak knives. So
See this watch.
so then it was a 3-month contest, and for me, even back then when I was younger, Derek will tell you it was always about pride, right? It was always
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't money that was secondary to me. It was always about trying to be the best I can, and I literally worked. Kid you not, probably one of the reasons why I got divorced so young. I literally worked 70, 80 hours a week, including weekends, and I literally worked every single day for those 3 months. And believe it or not, it was one loan, one deal
Really?
that I drove. And back then, by the way, we used to do our own signings.
Okay.
So not only did I had to process my own deal, cold call, process my own deal, but then after the loan was clear to close, I printed the closing documents out,
Do you
drove
imagine?
to the closing,
Jesus.
and physically signed the actual. Things have changed a lot since then.
Thank God.
Thank goodness.
Seriously.
But in that sense, I haven't been to a closing since, by the way. Literally. But anyways, so now the funny part is that going back to those days, I'll never forget, I drove all the way to Clewiston. I get there, I do the signing, literally got to the office at, I don't want to say 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, put the deal in, and that was the one deal, $85,000 loan that put me in first place
That was it.
One deal.
in the nation of the company.
That's incredible.
And I won the car.
So I got to ask, what happened to the car? Did you keep the car?
Of Great question. It's pretty funny, actually.
Because I don't see the car
So-
now.
No, so it was a convertible BMW that they
Okay.
actually shipped from California.
Okay.
Here, picked it up at Bremen. It's pretty cool. Car was free. They even covered the taxes and everything.
That's huge.
I didn't pay for anything. So I drove the car to the house, put it in my garage. We had just purchased a house that year, and I'll never forget. Took it to one wedding. I would only drive it on Fridays. You know?
Right.
I think I had it for maybe 30 days, if that. You know, it was actually I took it to Robert's wedding.
Yep.
And then literally, I'll never forget on a Friday morning, here I am driving to the office. Great story. I'm parked at the light on Florida Mango and Forest Hill Boulevard. Top is down. It's 9:45 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Blue
Sitting like
skies,
this.
right? And I'm listening to Livin' La Vida Loca, right? It just came out.
Wow. Don't do it.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't say it. I saw
I'm
it
telling-
coming. Don't
I
say
know,
it.
I know. It's pretty funny. And I'm sitting there I'm just jamming, vibing to the song, right? Like, yeah, you know, I'm in this car I won, right?
La Vida.
I'm
I
living La
don't even
Vida
have
Loca.
to say it.
you know?
Everyone
my
knows.
God. Great,
Everyone's
right?
thinking what I'm thinking
It's
right
phenomenal.
now.
It's phenomenal.
In the BMW
All of a
convertible.
sudden, this car pulls up to the side of me.
And he yells
rolls
out.
his window down, looks at me, and does this smile and does one of these.
Okay.
So, okay. And drove to the office, told all the guys what had just transpired. They told me what I just witnessed, and I sold the car the next day.
Sounds about right. You think it was the car and not the Ricky Martin though?
I think it was the
Maybe
it was still a
combination.
big
Maybe it was a
picture.
combination.
It was the
of,
big
you know,
picture.
But I ended
It
up.
was the
but,
big
but the
picture.
funny thing, I did sell it the next day.
Yeah,
Saturday, I drove
okay.
it to CarMax. Said, "What are you going to give me for this car?" And they gave me like 50 grand for it. Or
That's
something.
great.
I mean,
Took that money and bought my first boat with it.
Ricky Martin was never played again.
Never
Ricky
again.
Martin.
I can assure you that Ricky Martin was never played on the boat.
Boy, he was like,
That's a
"Upside
sure.
inside."
My God.
He was singing at the stoplight.
Upside inside.
Living la vida. He was getting it. He was getting it at the sign. That's why that guy looked at him. He was like, "Hey,
Yeah. He'll
Yeah, all
live
day.
your Vida Loca.
living la vida loca."
So going back to that time of the industry, what was the average mortgage rate in 1999, 2000, 2001?
So, and I would right around 2000, I'll never forget. Interest rates went as high as, and people don't remember this, but it was probably to me, it was the worst time in our industry.
Wow.
It was not now or 2000.
Worse than 2008.
I think it's a lot worse.
I mean, we
Yes.
can't have a conversation about the industry and
I started in 08.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't talk
2000
about anything.
I'll explain why. It was to me, it was kind of like a freeze market, right? No one was doing anything. Rates for a 700 credit score, 25% down conventional was at 9.25.
Wow.
So people don't realize. I remember that, but I remember walking into a Remax office of 300 agents. Okay, looking for business, obviously, and walking in there, and they had 3 deals on the board. 3 deals on the board. 300 agents. I'll never forget that. I've never seen that since. Even when the rates went up again, in two years ago in 21 was real bad here, 8%. We were still closing deals. People are still busy.
Yeah, for sure.
The highest I closed was
yeah.
8.1. I think 8.125 or something
Somewhere
like that.
around
It
there,
was around
yeah.
there. It was the highest. I
If you
closed.
can think back, was that the highest interest rate you've seen in your career? Or can you remember
For
something
conventional
higher?
loans, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But when I started in the business in non-QM space, it was typically normal for us to see rates between 10 and 12%.
And a non-QM, just for somebody who may not know what that means, what's a non-QM loan?
Great question. So non-QM, we call it today non-QM, but back then it was called subprime.
Okay.
So
I've
you
heard
had
that term.
prime. Prime mortgages were for people who had, great income, reportable income,
Yep.
great credit scores, good down payments. You were a prime borrower. So you got a prime loan, which was usually your Fannie Mae, FHA, and that kind of stuff. And then non-QM, subprime loans.
Okay.
It's a new word now. Subprime loans were subpar borrowers. Okay?
So you didn't have the
So
money, or you didn't have the
didn't
credit.
have, you either had great
Okay.
credit but no income,
Got it.
or you had terrible credit but great income. You were missing something, right?
Okay.
Of the 3 things that you need, okay? 3 things that we call as your income, your credit, and your down payment, right?
Yep.
So they had one of the 3 missing, so you had what we call a subprime loan. And that's pretty much where I started in this business. It was subprime loans.
Okay.
And I started at the end of that because in 08, when the drop, that's kind of where the end
Yeah.
of those subprime banks, because they all basically shut down the market. But
Correct.
we would call people to refinance, and what sucked when I started in this industry, and I hated him for this. And I'm like, dude, I'm your brother. Give me a desk. Give me, you know, you get that sense of
Yeah.
entitlement.
I want the other
because
corner
I want the
office.
other corner office, which I currently have
Now
the
you
other
have.
corner office right now. That was the only perk, but I've actually earned that office. But it took a lot to earn the respect from my own brother, because he would put me in a basically a 2x2 room with 2 telephones. It was me and Robbie Wester, my other cousin, and he said, here is your sheets, dial, and you cannot leave this room until you get 20 applications.
There you go.
And out of those 20 applications, we got not $1 from them, because I had to give them to all the other guys in the offices, all the seniors in the office. And I had to learn from the seniors the deal that I got for them. And I didn't get $1 out of those deals. We literally worked for free for like, the faster I close those loans, I can finally get paid on one. But that was like the school of hard knocks. It wasn't coming into the office and I have, you know, I sit at a cubicle now and I just go to realtors and beg for business. No, we were cold calling in those days. And the cold calling, we call them power hours.
Yep.
It was, we had to be in the office, and I hate coming to the office. I would be like, I can't make it to the office today. And then he'd get it, drive here now. And we would, because I would DJ the night before.
I was just going to say, you were also DJing at the time.
I was DJing
until
like
3,
3
4,
nights
5
a
in the
week,
morning.
DJing. And Supreme was here. Remember Supreme?
Yeah, I remember that
so
too.
Supreme One was DJing. Josh was here, and Josh would dial. We would just sit here, drink, pound Red Bulls, and just get on the phone and call people from 5 to about 8 o'clock at night.
And 9 a.m. too. We had an hour
9
power.
a.m. until like 10. In between there, you get the retirees at home, and we would just, you know, here and there if you wanted to call to get practice in. But man, it was so insane to have to sit here and just call people, and you would call and they would just say, F you. Don't effing call me again. And they just slammed the phone and you just had to keep going.
Yeah, it's discouraging.
Keep going. Bro, it was terrible. I was like, bro, do you really making me do this? He goes, learn. I had a dollar. You know, you want white pages? And he used to throw books at us. Nah, bro, it was a disaster, bro. I hated this guy.
A little bit of hazing.
He was, bro. Okay. And I thought, this is where I think I got my bullying from. I became the asshole because of this guy.
So it's his fault.
It's his fault.
That you bully everybody.
It's his fault. He used to steal my G.I. Joes as kids. I still have that. I still get pissed off about that shit. I want my Snake Eyes back.
If you want to go there, we can tell the story that my father used to spoil the crap out of this kid to the point where I remember visiting. Remember, we have different moms.
Yeah.
So I would come from Belglade, where, you know, we didn't have a whole lot, and literally come and see this beautiful house that my little brother had and my sister, and me coming from a complete different situation. Yeah. And seeing him with, not only did I only have 3 G.I. Joes, he had the whole collection of G.I. Joes. And I mean the whole collection.
And the truck.
He had everything. He had the whole entire military base of the G.I. Joe. He had it all. He even had the amphibious ship. He had everything, right? So, and I never forget that his mom would just buy whatever he wanted. And I would literally sit there and look at him and I'd be like, all right, I'm taking me some G.I. Joes home.
Absolutely. Right? So would I.
So, yeah. So I made sure I always took 2 or 3, you know, of the ones I liked the most, you know. And he would know, and I would tell him, I'd let him know.
Episode 4 just dropped today, so I can't expect you to listen to it, but we had a big conversation about name brands and how name brand chips taste better than store brands. And this is just another example of why he has that position, because it was clear that you were spoiled as a kid.
Oh, it was
and
brutal.
Got everything you wanted.
I was not that. I was spoiled a little bit.
Man, this is coming from family.
Let me tell you how bad it was. When we went to Disney World, I think I remember 2 Disney trips my whole entire life. Okay.
All right.
And they went every year, but I went 2 times. Anyway, make a long story short. Okay.
Now he travels around the world. Now he's Mr. Worldwide over here.
I know, he's catching up. He's got to catch up to you.
So I went to Disney, big deal.
Anyways, so here we are going to Disney World. Okay. You know, you're at the parks. We're young, you know. He's young, I'm 9, he's 5, whatever. We're super young. And all of a sudden, dinner time, we want to eat, we're hungry. We had to literally drive, I'll never forget, for an hour looking for a place that had pizza and French fries, because he would only eat pizza and French fries as a kid. Just so you know, he wouldn't eat chicken tenders.
A Ninja Turtle, bro.
He would not eat. It was only pizza and French fries. We didn't go to McDonald's, or if we went to McDonald's, we had to get the fries. We had to go look for the pizza anyways, right? Pizza Hut didn't have French fries, right? So we had to find a restaurant that had both. Okay, that's the kind of stuff we had to deal with when we were kids. And then you wonder why my sister has problems. But anyway, go ahead.
The entitlement level that I'm getting this vibe And it's anybody who knows you, I think, can now put two and two together and realize, well, this is where it all came from.
I was not that spoiled. He's exaggerating.
I'm not.
I think he's exaggerating, but he still stole my GI Joes. I'm so upset about it.
And then he got you back by putting you in a
And he
cubicle
put me in the dial room
and making you make phone calls. It's called cutting your bones, and you've got to earn. I mean, we
I didn't
start
treat him-
somewhere.
I never treat him any different than anybody else.
That's it.
And that's something that all the employees from back then to today always, and never treat him any different.
sit on a throne of lies.
But he still has
I
the
treated him
corner
differently.
office
Treated
now.
me worse.
Oh, I treated him worse. No, the same as everybody.
That-
else.
that might
I
be
want to,
true.
the next interview we're coming is we're going to bring Frankie in here, Javier's other brother that I consider a brother of mine as well. How bad Frankie gets it. Frankie gets destroyed by you sometimes. I think you treat Frankie worse than
Am
I
I
do.
being brought in this podcast?
This is not what we're here for.
How
Let's
bad
get
I
back
am.
on track. This is
Let's
why
get
we
back on
need.
track
Good thing we
because-
We need to
edit
stay
this.
on track.
Good.
So your role with Absolute Home Mortgage right now is what's your role here now?
So I'm the branch manager / regional for Florida. We have multiple branches here.
Yep.
And but pretty much, I dedicate my time to running the branch here, as well as besides the satellite office that we have, but I
Yeah.
also do business myself.
So you're still very much in production. You're still handling
Yeah.
files and
Well, you know what it is I have realtors that I've been working with for so long. Going back to 2000.
right.
That when I've done this before, where when I've gotten to the point where I became the regional VP of this big company, and then all of a sudden I give the realtor to one of my loan officers that to take care of them, and they just never felt that they got the same service or they weren't happy with that. That they always would call me, and even no matter how high of a position I receive or I got to. So, for example, at Oak Street Mortgage, I became the regional vice president there, and I had 1,600 LOs at one point. Literally, I still had realtors that would call me,
Really.
and I took care of them because it was, hey, they were with me when I was coming up in the business. Why wouldn't I take care of them? I still took care of them, and then to this day, it's still true.
I feel like that is in these industries, the mortgage side and the real estate side, loyalty is one of the top priorities. As a realtor, I have my preferred lenders. Obviously, Absolute Home Mortgage is at the top of that list. I have title companies, my preferred title companies, preferred inspection companies, just the same way you guys have those same vendors, that you keep that list and you hold on to it tight, because loyalty, integrity, dependability, those are things that both of us need, because as fast paced as this industry is, I need to be able to pick up the phone and know that my loan officer is going to answer the phone, because my
100%.
client's got to get this over. We've got to get something signed, and vice versa.
We have a reputation in town with the listing agents, especially. They see our contracts. I can't tell you how many times we hear
saves
this
my
and we
butt
see,
tons of
and we see
times.
this, that they'll have multiple offers, 15, 16 offers on a deal, and they see our pre-approval, and they'll take our deal over to this 15, 16
I've had it happen for one of my clients. I've put the contract through. They've seen the pre-approval with Absolute stamp on it, and it's kind of a no-brainer. And
What's about track records at the end of the day? Right?
Exactly.
And our track
Yeah,
record,
reputation.
Javier's track record and reputation kind of speaks for itself. And when sometimes though, I'll even get phone calls and say, "Are you Javier's brother?" And I'll say, "Yes, I am."
sure am.
Absolutely, I sure am, because in this industry, it holds water. It's a big name.
Yeah.
Being number one in our industry for years. I mean, the trophies.
I was just going
in
to
this
say, you
room-
can see all the
you can't-
damn
you can't see
awards.
them, but there's probably about 20 awards in this room right now of for he's been number one loan officer, number one branch manager. So to be up there is amazing. I ride the piggyback of our last name on this.
Jump on
industry
those
all day,
coattails.
boy.
Hang on tight.
Hell yeah! So all the hard knocks that he put me through, and all the crap I do talk about him, it's definitely it's a blessing to be a part of it. And that's why we're a team. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to trust the people you work with. You want to be comfortable with them. And then our processing team, like I've said it in a previous podcast, is amazing. Our turn times are amazing, But they also know that if Javier doesn't respond and he's with his family, they call me. If
Right.
we don't, they have resources. We have such great team behind us that we do answer those phone calls, even on those Sunday nights and those Saturday evenings, whatever. They know if you can't get a hold of one of us, they we answer the phone. That's the main part.
Yeah.
And it's about being there for your realtors.
Absolutely. And I will say this about the team real quick. It's very unusual to see a team or a group of mortgage individuals where the same people have been around in the same company for a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
We've been here 15, 16 years at this company. the average person that works in our office, and this just West Palm alone, I'm talking about the other branches, just West Palm alone, we have people that have been here the full 16, and I have even people that have been with me prior companies that have been with me for 20 years.
That's amazing.
And that's something that, not that I take any credit for it, it's just that it goes back to what we provided here, what actually we built here. And as a team, we all respect each other, we all work hard for one another, and we cover, everything.
We have
possible.
you have managers in Tampa. We have managers in other branches that when I first started in the industry trained me. They were our seniors, and they're still with under Javier under the branch. So like I said, it's our camaraderie in here. It's fun. The energy's great. And if, like I said, we have an issue, I can just throw a pin at someone because they're right in front of us.
Yeah.
So our processing team is here, and that's why we get things done fast.
This is quickly becoming a recruiting call.
This is a recruiting call. If you
absolute, I love it.
you need
this
a job.
is good.
No,
But I mean, and one of the reasons that we brought you on here is to obviously pick your brain about the industry, and we talked a little bit about how you used to find business and how you used to be able to help all of the clients that you could, and it was from cold calls. How else were you finding business other than making cold calls? I mean, were you doing any kind of like advertisements or mailers, postcards, anything like that?
Yeah, actually, so we obviously cold calling is a big part of it. We would go to real estate offices as well, meet with realtors, but even then, the real estate business was slow.
Okay.
So we noticed that a big thing was rising credit card debt. Right, going back 2000 now, credit card debt. I actually go back to 2001. I'll never forget. 9/11 happened.
Yeah. And
we couldn't do anything for 30 days. We couldn't cold call. We were not allowed to cold call because of the events that happened through 9/11. That's that story. I'll never forget how quiet. So we had to do something, right? What can we do? So in that topic, we decided to do a mailer.
Okay.
We do a big drop mailer of cash. We knew who owned homes. Obviously, it's all public records.
Yeah.
So we would drop mail pieces of, trying to sell cash. We sell money, we cash out. Credit card debts were really, really high.
Oh, yeah.
They did a mail drop. Great story for you, by the way. So they did a mail drop. They put my name on it, right? They put Javier's name on it. And when I saw that, I'm like, we're not getting any phone calls. You ain't dropping a mail piece in Polk County and think you're going to get phone calls.
In
right?
2001?
This is actually 2001. Yeah, right after 9/11. I want to say the first mail drop was right around November.
Okay.
Yeah, right around November. And literally, we got no calls. I think we got one call, if that. Kid you not. So I called the corporate office, and we were a pretty big company at the time. I said, listen, you guys are never going to get any phone call.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Miami, we'll get a couple calls.
Okay.
Right?
Javier.
Yeah, right.
We'll get a couple calls, right? It's not my fault. My mom named me after a famous soap opera star, by the way.
I got the whitest names ever. Derek Steven.
Exactly.
And here comes Javier.
Exactly.
Javier.
It's been rough. But anyways, so that being said, I had to change my name, right? So I literally changed my name.
It's a true story.
Okay.
He changed
So
his name.
so my name is Paul Stone.
Paul Stone.
All right. That was my name. Okay.
That is the most
This is
Anglo
legit.
name
This
I've
is
ever heard in my
legit.
life.
So
This
I
really
literally
happened.
I cold call using Paul all the time. That was my name. So when I would call back and looking for Paul, they transfer call to me. That was my name. So literally,
Paul Stone.
yep. So literally, we did a mail drop, right?
Okay.
And I made them change it to Paul Stone.
And
So we dropped, and I'll never forget when it hit. That's the first day we had literally hundreds of calls. I want to say we had 20, 22 loan officers at the time. Literally everyone averaged 8 to 10 applications a day.
wow.
For a solid 30 days. And that was
Paul
the beginning
Stone.
of our, we just destroyed the market to that. We were, at one point, we were closing somewhere between 130 to 150 loans a month.
That's incredible.
Out of 20.
I think we have to put a little bit of a disclaimer on this. We're not telling anybody to start mailing out advertisements with false names on it.
No. But
And
You can't do
Definitely
that
not.
anymore.
Can't do
We're
that
talking
anymore.
about
after the last episode and us getting yelled at, we've got to make sure that we put disclaimers where
We're
we
not
need
making
to.
up names.
This was 2001. It was the Wild West. You could
Wild
do
West.
anything you
Wild
wanted.
West, boy.
Wild West.
So
Wild
that's
West.
why
The good
you
old
were
days.
able to get
The
away.
good
The
old
good
days.
old days. You were able to get away with it then. But my God, what a difference! It's crazy to think that just a small difference like that. And today we see it in like just what we're putting up on social media. We change the colors of something, and all of a sudden we get
I almost got
2,000 more
fired
clicks.
for social media.
You didn't almost get fired
Yes, I
for
did.
social media.
Stupid.
He always, dude. I used to get yelled at for being on. So Supreme and I, when we were there and we're cold calling, we'd be on Facebook, and I'm typing in Facebook and trying to promote, mortgages,
Oh, yeah.
and they actually cut all Facebook. They blocked it.
I blocked it.
He blocked
Good
it.
for
Then
you.
then I jumped on a
So I would tell him,
VPN.
stop finger banging your phone. Let's get on the phone.
I started VPN'd it. Went right around the firewall, no problem. Went back on Facebook because we would promote it. He goes, get off social media. And I'm like, this is the new thing, bro. You got to be on
This is
social
gonna
media.
take off.
This is going to take off. You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And then he opens up a massive part of our company of just social media.
Go figure.
And we literally also, this is the second wave.
It's the second wave. Social media.
When we did that, we skyrocketed. You know, our business skyrocketed after that.
Social media is everything right now.
Social media was
And
everything.
here I am making fun of him.
But
and
that was the whole point of the story was he was making fun of me on, and same thing with the mailers. Like you don't know until you see a result. And then we would get a lot of phone calls on social media, and then social media became what it is today. And we had an entire department full of it, and it launched, and it really put Absolute on the map. It put your company on the map, and we've been crushing ever since. House song of the week, Househead Javier. We're gonna give him an opportunity to tell us his favorite house song
track of the week.
right now.
Listen, it's kind of soft, but it's good, and I like it. I'm gonna go with Carlita Time. Let's go with Carlita Time.
He's doing it.
Carlita
He's really going
Time.
with
That
it.
is like the. That is
He
that
played it. That's that style house that you
Listen,
were talking about.
everybody
Healing
likes it.
house.
Yeah,
It's got a cool vibe to it.
It's
I
a
listened to
vibe.
it.
Javier is a vibe when he listens to his own music, and he's like this new healing house he's gotten into is different. It's awesome.
It's only for certain occasions.
It's only for certain, but I caught him. He was like,
That's right.
I feel like
I did see the
meditating.
picture.
By the way, that started as a joke, by the way. That was supposed to be a joke, okay? Next thing you know, they posted everything out and thinking people were going to laugh about it. No one laughed. To the contrary, everybody said that was the coolest thing. Where was that
pretty
at?
cool.
You know?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now he's just posting pictures of him.
I'm gonna have you
meditating
send it to me so I
in
can
the
put it up
middle
here
of
so everybody can
Salt
see it.
Lake, he was in Bolivia,
That's right. Salt
You're
Lake's in
pretty
Bolivia. Yeah.
and that's an amazing trip. And you
Amazing place.
it
let me
looked
tell
like
you.
an amazing trip.
It's top. I would say it's a bucket list place. If you haven't been to it, you
Really?
got to make a trip there.
I would never think Bolivia would be a place to be like, I gotta go.
Neither did I until I've been there a few times and realized what an amazing country it is.
Do you have anything left on your list of places you want to go that you haven't been yet? What's next on your I have to go here list?
Believe it or not, it's I'm a big skier, like to ski.
Okay.
It's still on my list, and we've got to make it there before I get a little older, right? I got to be able to ski
For the
there.
knees give out.
For the knees give out, and I would say Jackson Hole. Believe it or not, I want to
Wyoming.
go to Jackson, Wyoming. Yeah,
Fun fact. Ready, guys?
Yep.
About to blow your mind. You should know this, but I don't think you do. I was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
no kidding.
It's so white of you.
So we should take a skiing then.
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that.
20 years plus
20 years
of
of
friendship.
friendship. I don't know where you
Didn't
were
know I
born.
was born in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Yeah,
Learned something
Haven't been
new.
back since, but I hear it's a beautiful state. Jackson Hole, I'm sure it's
Jackson
great.
Hole.
it's either Jackson Hole or British Columbia. I got to try one.
Those are
of
extremely different places,
I
by
just
the
want
way.
to go to Tahoe. I've never been skiing in Tahoe. You went
Couple
last
times.
year. You went a couple times. I couldn't go.
Going there in January.
We went.
Again.
You and
Where
I.
did you go where you were at the resort ski in, ski out?
I went with him. We went to
Where we go? Which one?
Vermont, Mount Snow.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mount Snow. We took my
That
dad
picture
that
was
year.
beautiful.
We took our dad that year just to mess with him.
Great
Dude,
stories.
The stories that we have. It's about just making fun of this guy of our dad, and we just pay for trips just to do stupid shit to him.
Just to make him suffer.
He hated it. He would be like, "Yeah, let's go skiing." Be like, "Yes." We used to just throw shit at him, and then he put him next to the fire to sleep because he snored so loud.
I think the greatest story of all was we were coming back, and my dad's a king of bullies, or we became bullies. He's a bully. I'm not a bully
Shocker.
anymore. Anyway, so then we decided to do some fun. It was his birthday, right? He was turning 60, and we're like, "This is what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna get a piece of paper, right? I got a piece of paper, and I had to wait the actual stewardess, right? The stewardess give me a piece of paper, and I wrote in the back of it, "Kick me. I'm 60," and I put it in the back of his shirt.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Can you imagine now everyone kicking him in the airport?
So he's walking in the airport, and we're all
Javier.
running. Yeah, I run, I kick him right in the ass. Bah! Then he kicks him, right? And my dad's kind of person, if you remember how he was, he's very serious. He wants to fight everybody.
Yeah.
He starts chasing me. Then he kicks him. Then he starts chasing him. We're running down Palm Beach International, all All right, literally.
God.
We get outside. The
We
cops
get
are
outside, the
looking at
sheriffs
us.
are there, and we get behind the sheriff, right? And we're like, he's trying to hurt us. You know? And I didn't care. He goes, I'm gonna kill these bastards, right?
Bro, the cops were like, didn't know what to do.
They don't know what to do, you know? It was great stories.
My God.
Yeah, we've had some good times on these vacations.
I feel like, and we've had some great trips, the three of us, I mean, the cruise.
Horror Nights.
Horror
What?
Nights.
And Horror Nights is
Yeah.
coming up 2 weeks. Can't wait.
Sold out.
Sold out.
Sold
Bro,
out. Fast passes are sold out.
I went on my my old emails. I typed in Universal.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
one of my old emails, and it was $200 for 2 people with fast passes 10 years ago. It was exactly
Yep.
What are we
2014.
paying now? I don't remember.
$666.66.
And it's going up since then. It
And
was
it's
we went
gone
I don't
up.
think we pay that much, did we?
Yes, it's $666.66.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
It's insane. I was like, it's 3 times the cost. I was like, holy shit.
And what concerns me is the fact that if fast passes are sold out, how many fast passes are they going to sell? Because those lines are going to be stupid
the lines are
one way
in
or the
general.
other.
Even with the fast pass, it was still a good 15-minute wait.
I'm fine with 15, but 30 minutes, I
least we
paid
can
extra,
drink
so
in
I don't
between.
wait.
It depends on the place. Depends on the actual horror
On the
right?
house. Oh, yeah, yeah.
The house itself. I remember one year, even a couple years ago, it was solid 35, 40 minutes, you know?
With the fast pass.
Every year I say I'm going to get the super, VIP
Next
guided
year.
tour, and I'm like, I'm doing it, and then every year it
goes
just
up. Yeah.
so expensive. I'm like, never
So let's
mind.
set the goal now. We're
Holy
going to hope that
shit.
this podcast takes off. We need 3 sponsors to pay for our VIP tour next year,
Yeah,
and we'll be good.
three
So
sponsors.
the-
We're looking for
Episode
sponsors.
5 was the one that set us on the track to get
next
the
year.
VIP
All right,
tour
sounds
next
good.
We
year.
need sponsors to set us up for sure. Changing gears a little bit to this weekend. So we do have a busy schedule.
Yeah,
busy
weekend.
schedule this weekend. We have I have weddings on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night I'm doing a wedding. It's a where am I at?
North Palm Country Club, right?
North Palm Beach Country Club. So this weekend's weddings at North Palm Beach Country Club. They just remodeled the place. So I'm
beautiful.
interested to see. They just did a full remodel. They moved the bar. They moved everything. So I'm interested to see where they stick the DJ, because the
It
DJ was
needed
always front and center, which I love that location. So now the bar is where the DJ used to be.
Okay.
And apparently I'm getting the glass windows on the back. So I got to figure out how that's going to go for sound. But that's a fun room. It's a great area. But
Yeah, it is.
the wedding ceremonies in one location, cocktail hours across the whole other courtyard.
Yep.
So multiple setups and stuff like that. And then we have a couple events on Saturday. We're doing the Croquet Center.
Yep.
And we're doing
The Colony Palm Beach.
Colony Palm Beach.
Yeah, 40th birthday at the Colony Palm Beach. Probably one of the higher end venues on the island, I would say. It's the
Awesome
big
place.
pink hotel. You can't miss it.
Yep.
Great place.
And so we're in the Coral Ballroom there for a 40th birthday. They're putting pipe and drape around the whole perimeter of the room to make it, and they're using this like green velvet drape the whole room. And then the lights that we're using, they want us to go with like a warmer color white, which I've never seen the room look like this. I think it's going to be incredible. I think it's going to change everything. The lights I wanted to use,
We should have bought those. Should have bought those lights. No,
I might still buy
those
them.
old school looking lights.
They
and
are
we
so
can-
cool.
I think if we order them today, they might come in.
Tempt me.
I don't know. Take my credit card. Just take my money.
So we've got that. The wedding that we're doing at the Croquet Center is for probably one of our favorite industry professionals. She is, she's been a good friend of ours for a long time. We're not going to drop her name because we don't know who's going to pop up at our wedding, but yep.
So honored to be a part of that, and with such again, probably the best of the best in the industry.
Oh,
Maybe
for sure.
we'll be there.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll definitely get to showcase, our skills there and our equipment. I think we're doing bistro lighting as well, which is not so much of a lighting company. Bad lighting
companies coming
bad
out.
lighting company, because we never wanted to get into lighting, but now we're a lighting company apparently now.
We're just going to do,
We
you know,
also have a wonderful mirror booth as well.
We have a photo booth. Javier invested the photo booth.
shout out to our investor.
Shout out to our investor for the photo
booth.
booth. The photo booth was another funny story. Javier says, dude, let's buy something. Let's invest in our business. And I always welcome investors, especially when it does work with my brother.
Of course.
My nephews were supposed to help run the business. I was just supposed to get the photo booth
was the
from
first
point
problem.
A to point B. I was not supposed to touch this computer. I was not supposed to touch the booth. do nothing.
Just book it.
I
and
was
that
just
it.
supposed to just travel with it and promote it and
Yeah.
book it. And Javier had to do everything else, which turned into
You know what? I was fine with little part-time job. I'll show up. You know, what I mean, give me a reason to go to the weddings.
Of course,
you know?
yeah.
I was down for it.
then you got busy. And
I
then
know,
the
I
industry
know.
just got busy. His kids did not want to be a part of the company. They were like, we'll be there.
But we still offer it. We still have it. That's the best part.
We still have it.
I think we got your son out to one event with the photo booth.
Yes, he did. Remember, he's like, I want to just sit there. Can I just sit here?
I think he got, and I don't even think we got paid for that one. I think it was a free event.
It was a free one. It was a free event. We were like, let's just try it out. This is what we're going to be doing. And you have to be energetic.
I think I still paid him now.
Yeah, you probably. You have to be energetic. We have to do this. And you have to put a big smile on your face. And he's just like, and didn't want to work. And he still yells at me till today.
Yeah.
He still yells at me. You never hired me. I'm like, what are you talking about?
So we tried.
Yeah, I know.
The photo booth is, I think it's one of the coolest ones that I've ever seen at any wedding, let alone of the ones that we have. The mirror booth is
awesome.
the coolest one.
It is cool.
Looks like an iPhone.
Yep.
Everybody wants to take a selfie nowadays.
Talks
so
to
it's great.
It's awesome. And then the roaming photo booth now that we have is awesome because we can share it. And I just got the printer version of it now. So I ordered the air print card for the roaming booth. So if you do want to print, we can print it. And if you do just want to text it to yourself, you can. So new things always coming.
Updating the website.
Always coming. Javier wants to be a DJ now.
Do
Yes.
you?
He said he was first of all, he said he wants to make music.
I was just going to say he was supposed to be
He
a
wants
producer.
to make music. So he has an office that I think, and I think we should convert your current office into a studio or use the theater because it's already sound inside there. We can set up a little corner station.
It doesn't take much to get him on board with things.
I know,
Like
I love
you just brought it up and he was like, "Yep, let's do
I'm
it."
in. Well, he's been saying he wants to DJ, and every time he gets back there, he's like, "Play this and play that, and we'll play it." Right?
Make music and let him DJ. I'll make the music.
Yeah,
for
he
him.
makes
I
the
love
music.
that idea.
Let him be my
why
ghost
did you
producer.
never saw him DJing and thought maybe I'll give that a try? It wasn't ever appealing.
I'm the one that got him into it.
So why didn't you ever do it?
Work.
Always something else, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that makes
He's
sense.
like, I used to DJ, and then he'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna go DJ tonight? Oh, you're gonna go DJ?" And I'm like, I thought it was just cool. And he used to be like, "Oh, you're gonna go DJ?" He goes, "Get on the phone and dial." You know,
It's like
And
Christmas. He's still doing that DJ
still
thing.
doing that DJ.
Yeah,
I'm still doing that DJ thing.
20 years later.
20 years in, still doing
Now,
it.
and now it's cool.
And now it's good. Now he
I
wants
was
to be
going
a
to say,
DJ.
I think we've done
We
pretty
could've-
well
Ghost-
for
ghost
ourselves.
producer.
we
Ghost
could have
producer.
been amazing. We would have been together DJing, doing mortgages. I'll take one or the other though.
What would the name be?
I
The
don't
brother
even-
in Fiestas? In Fiestas?
Young and old.
Damn. Now and then.
Now and then.
There you go. That's a good one.
You're welcome.
Gray and grayer.
On that note, I think we should go ahead and wrap this up before somebody's feelings get hurt.
Somebody's
Thanks again,
taking my ball.
Javier.
It's going home.
Thanks again, Javier, for joining us on episode 5. It meant the world for us, obviously, for you to be here. And I think episode 10, we bring you back on
Sounds good.
and just get some more fun And that's our way of paying you back for using your office.
Yep.
You got it. Sounds
Everybody
We
like,
appreciate it.
share, and subscribe.
good. Absolutely.
Like, share, and subscribe. Did I say it right? Yeah. Like, share.
I know we're doing the outro, but I just want to bring this up. The way Derek says subscribe, there's a B in subscribe. There it is.
Subscribe.
He says subscribe. And
Subscribe.
I'm like,
I can't. Miami. It's like saying Miami. I can't say Miami. Miami.
I do the intro, you do the outro. That's all you got to do, man.
It's all I got. I had one job. I had one job is to spit the outro. Subscribe. Subscribe.
There it is.
Subscribe, like, share, follow. Just do something to help us out, guys. Just hit a button.
That's it.
Just share it. It's just share. Just share it. Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
I'll make sure to bring my hat.